Collingwood were magnificent yesterday. They got out of a spot of bother again. Let's recap what happened.
Jeremy Howe. Oh, he's almost slipped over. He's lost possession. Dear, oh dear. Essendon hasn't always taken its chances today. But Jones, oh, he's oh so close. He hits the post.
Moore's going to go. Charges off half-back. Bianco's out. Thumps a long one. Elliott takes the mark. The game on his boot. Jamie Elliott to win the game for Collingwood. There's the siren. Arms in the air. That has gone through. Jamie Elliott has won the game of footy for this famous club. Unbelievable.
It's unthinkable, really, how that went down. And there's a few things that contributed to it. Let's have a look at some of the things that in the lead-up. First of all, kicking the ball away. Is this not 50 metres from Murphy?
100% 50-metre penalty. If this is in the middle of the ground, this is a 50-metre penalty. So you'll see it.
Whistle goes there.
Yeah. That's a long time. Matt Stevic is there. That's the only decision the whistle could have been blown for. So he's given him some grace there. That's a clear 50-metre penalty.
Sometimes it's paid, sometimes not, but I'm with Cornsey because it was right in front of goal at a big moment. They didn't pay it. And
should he have had the shot there?
I'm 100% you take the shot, Kane. What do you think?
Well, if someone had have got to him and said there's 45 seconds, you just need to find one more uncontested mark, there's another 30, game over. The counter view to that would be that teams don't score from kick-ins regularly, and if you're a good, solid defensive unit, then you defend that kick-in.
Are you taking the kick if it's you?
If I've got a clear option to my right and it's more than 15 metres, I'll probably pass it. But I can understand Lordie's view that you just go back and back yourself in. But Essendon have no one else
He's a good set shot,
but themselves to blame.
He's not too bad, but
because
he's there to kick goals, isn't he?
Yep.
The issue for them has been their inability to defend backline transition. So it's no surprise that this cost them the game. They are 16th from D50 to inside 50. That's the opposition. D50 to score, they're 18th, the worst in the competition. And defending kick-ins, they're 17th in the game. So they've got no one else to blame but themselves on how poor they've been defensively, and it's cost them another game this year.
Yeah, it was one that I think Ham from the Bombers will be have sleepless nights. Jones will have a sleepless night and Ham will have a sleepless night. They didn't play that last period well, and it's interesting that we'll hear from Craig McRae soon, Hutchie, of how well he plays final moments. Well, the Bombers certainly haven't done that. Hutchie, that's as tough a loss as you have to deal with because they outplayed Collingwood for 2.5 quarters. Pretty much from quarter time, they were by far and away the better side until this last period of play.
How Essendon let them get through issues like that when teams are over-handballing? The good teams in the competition just turn that footy over. That's a work in progress for them, significant in summer.
And it's a game of inches, but there's a method gap between the two teams. But there's also a belief gap because Craig McRae has convinced his team that they have an edge at the back end of games.
To be honest, I'd fly in my head because he's been on to us about goal kicking, and him as a small forward, he relished that, and I just had him in the back of my mind. I don't know why, but yeah, kicked it pretty sweet.
It's definitely not luck. We've seen some stats about our GPS stuff and how we work over 4 quarters, and we've also, in contrast, we've trained a lot of scenarios in different parts of the game. So yeah, we've definitely put a fair bit of work into these games.
But we do train scenarios a lot. Like we do match play, once or twice a week, and the last 2 minutes of that match play is all scenario based around. Okay, you're 30, 2 minutes to go, you're 3 points behind. What are we doing? And we've got method. Just wouldn't mind not being in that situation.
We were always told as kids that footy's 80% above the shoulders, and I think it is. It's such a mental game, and Collingwood, they are so calm. I remember Kane when you were at Port Adelaide. You had a record 2013 last quarters, wasn't it? You just believed that you could overrun teams. It's amazing. You can lose one, it can turn pretty quickly once you start losing a few, but because they keep winning, their belief in Craig McRae is unbelievable.
And yet there seems to be this unspoken sense, Lloydie, that they can't do damage in the finals or they're no chance of winning the flag. Do you buy into that?
I think they could beat anybody on their day. Yeah, they're just sneaking over the line. But to win 9 in a row in an AFL competition, that shows they're going pretty well.
Yeah, I'm not a believer yet. I'm so impressed by what they've done, 17th to the top 4 position that they're in now. But if you look closely at some of the issues that they've got, I don't think you can paper over these cracks that are appearing at Collingwood. So they have beaten the 15th ranked team, 12th, 18th, 16th and 14th.
That's all they can do, though.
By 32 points collectively, Hutchie. And I think this is the precursor to Grundy. This is the structure they're going to go with. So Cox started in the ruck, Cameron forward, then Cox goes to the bench, Cameron comes up into the ruck. So I think this is an issue for them. I think Cox will be out of the side as soon as Brodie Grundy comes back in, and Cameron will be the forward, and that'll be the structure. Where you're going to think you're sniggering over there, Scoop.
You're just barracking for Cox, who's playing good footy, to be out of the side.
I'm just calling it as I see it, because Draper nearly ripped the game apart from them, as you're seeing there. So if you want to play Cox, Cameron and Grundy in the same side, you're more than welcome to. This is the issues for them, and a couple of those, including points for, is a concern. I still think Howe and Moore play too loose, and they are susceptible to big key forwards in a big final. Cameron or Curnow and Mackay absolutely getting a hold of them, but defensively strong. But I don't think they're going to do too much damage in the final.
But you could see them winning a final, though?
Yeah.
Not even that.
I wouldn't be surprised if they bowed out in straight sets. Yeah.
They win a final, it's a successful year.
Oh, it's a successful year no matter what happens from here, I reckon.
It's a monster year.
Lloydie, there's been so much conversation around Jack Ginnivan and, the high tackle and where the high tackle is at in the game. But what we're not talking about is what this attention is potentially doing to this young man's form and confidence.
100% Scoop. I think footy clubs are great places to be, but he needs a lot of care. He needs a lot of care now.
He's not shunning it. That's the cover of his Instagram post tonight. Let's put that as his screensaver.
Yeah, but you just wonder.
They're too high.
But he's not playing good footy, though. So, Degoe will come back soon, so he's got to be careful that he's not the one that actually goes out of the side. But we just got to work.
You think his spot's in jeopardy?
Yeah, I think it would be, yeah. Because Carmichael comes on and kicks 2 in no time, whereas Jack's having 5 touches a couple of weeks in a row. So I think they've got to work out, is Jack a one-trick pony? Or is mentally this getting to him? Because I think his form is tapering off.
Yeah, I'm not sure we've helped him as an industry, have we, in the last couple of weeks?
No, the competition certainly hasn't.
Yep.
Hasn't helped him.
Well, he's invited the attention on himself.
But he's not inviting...
Well, how has he invited the attention?
No, he's comfortable in the public eye.
It's different being
great character
comfortable to inviting. Well, because he's got bleach blonde hair.
And he just shares a lot of his personal... I think it's great for footy.
But yesterday was wrong, don't you think?
I agree. Yeah, I agree with you, Lord. I think he's susceptible to losing his place in the side, and... Yeah, largely he needs to find another way to impact games. Now, I'd love for him to go...
It's outrageous how he's being umpired, isn't it?
Completely.
Well, it's unfair, and they admitted that today, and we spoke about that all last week. But I'd love to see him given some centre bounce opportunity, because he's a good ground level player, rather than just starve yourself inside forward 50.